Yo, what's goody? It's Bear in the building. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Kueen Talk. If you are new here, welcome. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe button, leave a comment, let us know what you think of this episode. Today, we have a very special guest that is located in Boston, Massachusetts. Please help me welcome Mateo. Mateo, welcome.
What's up, y'all? Thank you
Yeah.
for the welcome. What's up? What's going on with you?
Hey, it's going good over here. It's a little gloomy. It is a little gloomy actually. Speaking of gloomy, let me hit that heading right there. Hit that. It is pretty good, but it's about to get even gloomier out here. How's that weather? You said it was raining over there too, huh?
Definitely rainy. A little gloomy. It's bright outside. Well, it was bright. It's getting darker now. But yeah, definitely raining all day. It's been this way for the past couple of days though. So
That's a norm. That's a norm there.
hmm
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that.
yeah,
It's
during the season, once May hits though, we're gonna start feeling a little warmer, and then the sun will start coming out, and then the weird 80, 90 degrees will start hitting us. So
okay. So it's not like Seattle. It's not like constant.
no.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say I was looking up just like Boston, Massachusetts, because I ain't never really even thought of Boston, Massachusetts. To be honest with you, I was like, it's one of the largest populations on the East Coast for like the queer community, is what the internet says.
Yeah.
So you living there, growing up, what's your experience like with that?
I will say that is heavily probably more so counting people that don't look like me that are queer. Um,
Mm, I
there's a lot
feel that 100%.
that don't know that we exist. So, the urbanites, I will call us, we are, I wouldn't say we're tucked away. We're here. We exist. We're trying to find our own spaces. So that's really the best way to kind of like put it. We're probably included in that, but in small numbers. Put it that way.
So it's still like that with it being like the largest population. Um, yeah, if you don't know like a little bit about me, like Queen Talk is why I started to like. I'm from Kansas, so it's very like when I go to places too, it's very white queer spaces,
Yeah.
and so I was like, I need to find people and connect. So, what's your way of connecting with others where you're at right now?
Honestly, social media. We do have certain like centers that you can go to. There's Glass. Glass has been around for a long time. I never went there, but a lot of the people that I met in my adult life as I came out, I met them mostly at like clubs and stuff. You hear about like the gay clubs or the gay events and stuff, and if you have a friend that you're comfortable with that is already in the community, that's kind of like how we mix and mingle here. We find somebody that we know that may be in the community already or know where to go, and then you go from there. That's pretty much what I did. Like my best friend, I met her I think on like MySpace, and my first girlfriend,
Fucking MySpace.
yeah, I met her through like one of my high school friends on Facebook. So from there I kind of like built community because she was already out, I was just coming out, and then you just kind of social media, honestly, these last couple of years have helped, made it easier. But prior to like social media being what it is today, it's really word of mouth and meeting the 1 to 2 people.
Hmm. And you mentioned just like coming out in MySpace era days. How old were you when you came out?
I was in college. I was 21, 22.
Okay,
Yeah. I
that's
came out late.
I'm that's that's only like 2 years after me. That's like I came out when I was a senior in high school, so it I feel like it's still early compared to what other people experience, especially you got it in your college days. So, did you go to Boston, a college in Boston, or where'd you go
I
to
did.
college?
I went to it turned out to be a scam school, but I went to the art institutes. So here it was the New England Institute of Art. In other cities, it was like Art Institute Chicago, Art Institute Miami. Like, but here it was the New England Institute of Art, but it was still under AI, which was the brand. So I went there and graduated from there. But again, my best friend went to school up the street at Pine Manor College, and they had a pretty vast collection of queer students. So when I did go, I would literally go because my school didn't have like a campus per se, but as I was schooling there and as she was going there, they made a partnership where some of our students could stay on their campus. So that made it easier for me to go to her campus almost all the time, whenever I wanted to, um, and have community there. Or, yeah, well, having community there mostly. And then eventually we started going to Rhode Island, which is not far from
Oh,
us,
nice.
and my best friend is from there. So she would travel from Rhode Island to Mass to go to school, stay on campus, and then go home for the summers. Um, we would go to a club that was where she is from, which is called Platforms, heavily well known. It's not the same anymore at all, but that was it. Like that was the club to be at every weekend.
It
You
seems like a
like,
lot of clubs happen that way. Like there
huh?
used to be some popping queer clubs, and then now it's not full of queer people. Like here in Kansas,
Right.
like there's a lot of straight people that actually go to the queer clubs here, which I'm not knocking on it, but it's just it's not the same. It's
Yeah,
not the
you
same.
want to be amongst community. Like it's fine, having allies there, but it's kind of like you're going to be in community, you know?
Hmm. Yeah. When you went to college and growing up in Boston, like you mentioned, like the queer spaces not being showing that representation, but like, what about just like Black people, or you're not you're Jamaican and West Indian, is correct?
Mhm.
So like, what about like that culture of you, like that side? Do you see that representation of yourself?
I do. We do have a heavy West Indian culture here. A lot of Jamaicans, a lot of Trini people. I'm also Panamanian, so growing up, I hung with the Panamanian side. So that side of my family is my mom's side. They're both Jamaican and Panamanian. We just learned that we're Jamaican as well. So I'm just now learning to like bring that into my life. But I always loved soca reggae like growing up, and I couldn't understand or relate why. And then once we found out we were Jamaican, I'm like, Panamanians listen to soca too, but we mostly listen to soca. I was like so heavily into reggae. But I mostly hung around my family because they do have like a Panamanian Association of Boston, things like that, where we can have a part of our culture and learn and be in that community as well. So I was kind of split between like figuring out what my queerness is, being Black and West Indian, because it's like my grandparents have accents and people are like, well, where are you from? And it's like just trying to like get everyone to understand like we're just a mixed family. They're from there, they came here, now I'm here, and I'm also queer. Like there's not that many people in my family that are, especially on this side of my family. I'm like the first and only to be out anyway.
Okay, okay. The first and only.
To be out to be out, because I don't know. Some people
Yeah,
could be afraid because it comes with the culture. Like,
right. Yeah. So let's talk, how was your coming out story with your family? Like, what was that
so
experience
me
for you?
coming out was in two stages. I knew when I was younger that I felt like a boy, so I just didn't know or have the verbiage, or the example either. I was the first person that I knew to feel the way that I felt, and I always just felt like a boy. I had crushes on girls older than me, like I just could not figure it out. And so I think by the time I started to be a teenager, those thoughts had already been suppressed because I pretty much prayed them away. Like I couldn't understand them, so I prayed them away and was just like, God, can you just make me normal? Because for whatever reason, as a kid, I just felt abnormal. I felt very out of place. Like something just didn't feel right, but I didn't know what it was. And as a little girl, like I was very flat chested. I didn't really have much going on to show you that I'm a girl, except for my hair. Like other than that and the earrings. But it's like androgyny, like that, there's little boys that are born with very feminized like features. So and but they're boys. So I felt like that kind of put me in the middle. Then I got to high school and I was like even more like interested in females. And I kept trying to push it to the back of my head, push it back, push it back, push it back. And I had crushes on some of my friends, never told them, just kept it to myself because I just felt like it was just like out of place. No
Mm-hmm.
one else was like, hey, I feel like this or whatever. And in my family, absolutely not. Like I definitely just felt like I was the only one. So I absolutely wasn't telling my family. Um, Not for any specific reason, but fear. Fear of like saying it. Not fear
Mm-hmm.
of like if I say this, they're gonna do this. I had no idea what was gonna happen. It was literally just the fear of feeling out of place. I got to high school, graduated. I had a boyfriend. Like, I literally tried to be a girl. I really did. I had a boyfriend. People thought we were gonna, like, have kids, get married, all of that. Like, I'm a dedicated partner, too, at the same time. So if I'm in something, I'm in it.
Mm-hmm.
I liked them. I loved them. But it was just something just wasn't right. Something wasn't right. And my first girlfriend ended up like contacting one of my friends from high school and was like, "Hey, who's your friend?" And my friend was like, "She's not gay." And I definitely used the line strictly dickly at the time. And I was like, I am not. Because at this point now,
The strictly dickly.
I had no idea about gaydar, and she's
Yeah.
like, she's gay. Like, I want to talk to her. She's gay, and I'm like, why is this girl pressing me? And after a while, it wouldn't leave me alone. Like the thought just kept revolving, and I'm like, here go these feelings again. And at some point, I moved out of that relationship with him. He kind of basically put me out there because he told my mom. I told him first. I told him first because I'm like, he was literally like my best friend. I actually told one of my cousins first because I needed her to help me tell him. So she was with me. I'll never forget it. I had my mom's car, picked her up, went to his house, and I was like, I have something to tell you. And he was like, okay. And it took me a while. Like my palms were sweaty. I was just like really nervous. And I was like, and I lied because I knew I wasn't confused. I like girls. Like that was,
Yeah.
but I told him I think I'm confused because I loved him.
Make
And
him feel a little better.
feelings. I didn't want to hurt his feelings. And I also wasn't sure. I'm like, maybe this is a phase. I don't know. But I do know that I've never really dated a guy seriously. Never actually until him. I wasn't sexual with them until him. Like, I just wasn't sure.
Mm-hmm.
So a part of me was lying, but a part of me was like, I also am not sure. He got upset because she lived around the corner from me and I drove my mom's car. He saw her car outside of my mom's house. Well, my mom's car outside of her house and was calling me and I wouldn't answer the phone. And when I did answer, I basically told him like, stop calling me, stop getting crazy. Cause now at this point I had already outed myself to you. I told you I'm trying to figure this out. And I was literally just visiting her. Like it wasn't anything. I didn't cheat on him or anything like that. I
Oh, okay, so that's why he was like, okay, so he thought you were
yeah.
cheating. Okay.
Right. And so now he literally pops up to my house and I get a phone call minutes later and my mom is like, "You need to come home now." And I'm like, at that point, my everything sunk to my stomach and I'm like,
Yeah.
here we go. So now it's this conversation of him crying hysterically to her, basically letting her know that I'm possibly a lesbian. She has absolutely no idea that this is what I'm doing or any of that. Um, so yeah, it was
Wow.
he outed me for me.
Definitely. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm I'm sorry. Like that definitely like you were like trying to confide in him and especially like ease his feelings and then he just
Bought
cried to
me.
your mom.
Yeah. Oh, and then my grandmother at the same time told me that I'm a disappointment because she also heard it and was like, didn't know what was going on. It was bad. It was like, well,
So when you got home and then like were faced with it, what transpired?
that was me getting home. Me getting home was me walking into him and my mom, and I was talking to him. He eventually left. His mom was even on, like, it was too much. Like, so I walk into my house. He's here with my mom. I don't know about the crying thing until after he leaves. She tells me, like, he came over here hysterical. That's why I called you the way I called you, because my mom had to backtrack too, and she apologized later on because she's like, I didn't mean for it to come off like that. I didn't know what was going on, and I'm like, yeah, because I wasn't ready to tell you. Like, that's not. It was never his place to do that. I understand
Right.
what he was feeling, but I was very vocal and open with him. Like, he knew what was going on, so there's no surprise for him. He just couldn't handle it, and that was that. So now I walk into the home and my mom and him are there. She leaves us so we can have a conversation. Then his mom is also on the phone. It ends where he ends up leaving the house. His mom is like praying for me on the phone. It was ridiculous. Then I hang out with them. I go upstairs because we have like a two family that we turned into a one family. I lived on the first floor with my mom, so now I'm going upstairs to like face the music pretty much because it's like, yep, I'm a lesbian, I guess. Like, I don't know what else to tell you guys. And yeah, that's when my grandmother tells me I'm a disappointment. And I went back and forth with her because I'm like, being on drugs is a disappointment. All these things that I gave her, I'm like, those things are disappointments. Me feeling like this about myself is not a disappointment. And that it's just fucked up that you feel that way. And
Yeah,
I ended up storming off. I think I probably didn't come home for a few days. I don't really remember after that, but I was really upset and felt betrayed. I felt alone. Like,
definitely. Yeah, definitely portrayed for sure. Because, like I said, you telling this person that you thought like you were trying to help and communicate, which I think that was like the right way to go about it. Like, hey, I'm feeling this way. I want to communicate. You're my partner. I'm with you, and um, I assume that you quickly ended the relationship after that. Like, that was.
yeah, because I after that it was more so of me just coming in. Now the cat's out the bag, right? And now I'm like, even if I don't feel like I'm an actual lesbian, at least this part is out. Because now
Mhm.
I'm figuring me out. You know what I mean? Like, it, it is what it is. I knew that I just didn't want to be there anymore. It just didn't feel like it was for me. It wasn't a personal against him. That's why I tried to go into it the way I did. I didn't want it to be what it was, but when I initially told him, I didn't get to tell you the details, but it's like he laughed. He thought it was a joke. So for weeks to go by and now you're crying at my house, it's like, what more can I do?
Oh, so that was his reaction. He didn't take you seriously.
Oh, he thought it was a joke and he absolutely affirmed how I felt. He's like, yeah, I caught you looking at girls a couple of times when we be driving, but I kind of just waved it off. And I'm like, like that's a
Oh,
sign as my
okay.
partner to say, "Hey, babe, you want to do a threesome or something? Like, pick my brain, something." It's like you notice that, and I'm coming to you now, and you still laughed in my face.
Yeah, I think it also just like brings up because like a lot of people are in relationships that are a part of the community, but they're hiding it and they're being a secret and they're like doing secretive stuff
Yeah.
without having a talk with their partner. But you did it a different route. Like you had the conversation with them, but yet it backfired on you because you put trust in that person not to like tell anyone. But of course, their feelings are hurt or whatever it may be. But
Mhm.
because I feel like that's what a lot of people say. Just like, why don't you just tell your partner? And but this could be the consequences if you do tell your partner.
Yeah, it's always gonna boil down to how the other person may take it, and if you're, I had to learn that I'm empathetic. That's why I do those things because it angered me, and it hurt my feelings at the same time. So I had to like heal from that because I'm like, why would someone do that? Like, if I was honest. I can see if I was lying to you. I never told you. I was honest and I told you first.
Right.
And I didn't even do anything with her. I was just spending time with her and I told her we could be friends, Like when I did start linking up with her, I don't know if she had malicious intent. I can't speak for that because she was more seasoned than me. I'm coming in naive and kind of like, I think I like girls and I think I want to figure this out. So in some ways during the relationship I did feel manipulated. So I don't know if prior to there was manipulation, but either way, I am grown and I know I made certain decisions and I'm just a respectful person. I don't cheat on my partners.
Yeah.
So for me, I wanted him to know so that I can explore and see what this is respectfully
Right.
and not leave him out or anything. It wasn't really for me to be like, I don't want to be with you. I want to be with women. And it was more so for me to be like, hey, this is happening and it's been happening, but it's
Mm.
happening again. And even though we're together, I want to figure it out, like, so I can
Respectfully.
more, yeah, skeptical because it's scary. You don't know how the person is going to respond.
Yeah. Well, then you said shortly after that, like that ended, and you were able to like explore that, and like, what was that like exploring for you? For me, I instantly got into a relationship, and then I didn't. That was it. Like, I didn't
Yeah.
really explore. I would say, like, what was that like for you?
I definitely explored. I can say that my first girlfriend was amazing in the sense that we were, we matched. Like, it was a soul tie to an extent. It could, soul ties can be karmic, they can be so many things, but it was definitely a soul tie. I knew her before. Like it was very much so love at first sight. It felt like honeymoon energy. I felt very motivated being in a relationship with her. I felt like I needed to secure my future. Like I was very, very motivated with her. And I miss a part of that with myself. I'm not gonna lie because we bounce that off of each other, and that shit has been hard to find, like
Mm-hmm.
very hard to find because it would be like making plans together, like Bonnie and Clyde. Literally, like we're gonna do this next, and we're gonna do that. Like taking trips, and we got our first apartment together. We were saving money. We got our own cars, our first own cars together. Like it was great. I felt so good. Like I felt like I was finally living my life and figuring out who I am. So it was good for the time. It was.
Well, what happened?
Oh my god. What happened was she a lot of what happened was she wanted, if I would have met her now, I think things would have worked out better. I was too new and she was too seasoned. So things were going too slow for her when it comes to my family adapting to me now presenting this way and who I am and things of that
Mm.
nature. Also, I can say that she's the first person that kind of told me and helped me figure out that I'm actually trans. I'm not a lesbian. So I was proud of that when I did start transitioning because I'm like, I have this whole backlogging of feeling these feelings, people I've dated saying certain things to me. Her specifically, she's the one that introduced me to the documentary, and I can't remember right now, but it does have someone featured in it that is now trans, and it was out of New York, and it was AGs and studs, the aggressives. That's what it was called.
Okay.
Look that up on YouTube. It's great. That was way back then, and it's so funny to see because I literally connected with the guy that is a trans man now, and he was so like, what I can remember, he was like, "I'm not trans. This is just who I am. Like, this is just me." And it's and now he's like a trans man, and that's how I was. I was like, I'm not that. No, absolutely not. I'm not that. But I think it was just like the fear of her being so like spot on, like I am that.
Yeah. How did you like? What earliest memories do you like feel like you felt that you're like, okay, maybe I am, without anyone like when someone told you, of course, like you were thinking back, but like when you felt it, like, okay, I'm different.
I was like 7. That's as much. That's as far back as I can remember. I can remember. And my father told me that when I was younger than that, I would have fits with whatever my mother was putting on me as far as outfits. And my mom, she has a great style. She dressed me very well. Grew up in the 80s, so I love my little style she had for me. But it was a lot of pinks, it was a lot of bows, it was a lot of braids, it was a lot. And my dad said I didn't like it. He said that he would argue with her sometimes about what she's putting on me because she's like she don't want to wear that. And I thought that that was so cool for him to pick up on it then when I was even younger from when
Mhm.
I can remember. Because I told him, I said, Daddy, I remember being like 6, 7 years old, literally praying to God every night, my little self at the foot of my bed, just like this, asking, and please make me wake up a boy. Like I had a plan. I had a whole plan with God. I'm like, we could just say that I'm the twin brother and the sister went somewhere else. Like I literally was trying to make this work. I'm like, if you need me to have the blueprints, I got them. Like, I just want this. I really want this.
Yeah.
And after some time, I forgot. I won't hold you because it's like when you're a kid, like you expect like instant gratification. So it's
Hmm.
like I wanted it the next day. I
Yeah.
wake up, go to the mirror. I'm like, I'm still a girl. What the hell? So then after some time, I remember crying when I prayed and just asking for the thoughts to go away because they were like I don't obsessive thoughts. Obsessive.
Mm.
Every day I'm waking up now feeling like I'm a boy. I should be a boy. I should be a boy. Not realizing or understanding where that even came from.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I just felt like this, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be like that. This is not where I'm supposed to be. So I cry and say, get rid of it. And after some time, I did stop thinking about it.
And you said this first person that you were in a relationship with, that's the one that made you see like, okay, you're a trans man. When do you remember like seeing an actual other trans man? Like,
Like seeing actual trans men that are
yeah,
transitioning.
yeah.
My following relationship after that. So that person also, she actually brought the trans man to me from Instagram. She's like, babe, I think you're this, and sent it. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And now though, now I'm like, that relationship with that partner was a little, my self esteem was up and down because that person had a child. My first girlfriend did not have a child. So, and my first girlfriend was very much so pro black lesbian. Like that, she was very much so like she, no playing there.
I love that.
Cool. Right. So I didn't have anything to worry about when it came to men or her cheating on me with a guy and ended up pregnant or something like that. Cause I heard the stories. I saw the people that did it or went through it. Now this girl, and it's funny because I feel like the universe was smacking me in my face because I used to say I would never date somebody with a kid. I'll never ever. I saw her and I said she is too beautiful. She's too fine. I have to see what's going on here. And I love kids. That's the thing. I love kids. It was
But
just the
that's
thing.
hard. But that is hard. Like a lot of
It's
stuff comes
drama.
with it.
Right. It's the drama that I was seeing in the movies. That's why I was like, oh, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. And then I ended up doing it. And there was drama. There was drama. But I say all of that to say I didn't really trust if you gonna bring me a transmit, like you attracted to this man, why are you bringing me this man? And she admitted it, but she's like, I feel like this is you, and I'm just like, it made me mad because I'm like, I already feel like I have to compete with your baby daddy. Like now you're telling me you think I'm a trans man, and you kind of in love with this trans man.
Why do you feel like your partners seen that you were a trans man before, like you seen it? Like, what were you doing that made them say that to you?
I think I naturally just am more masculine than feminine. Excuse me, and I always have been. I think I know. I didn't pay attention to myself, to be honest. I was just being. And I think that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? To just be yourself. But when people started saying that, it took me out of my element and was like, made me really look at myself and be like, I mean, I feel like one, you know what I mean? And I feel like the things that I do maybe are more masculine than the other females that they dated, or even some of the guys that they've dated. Like, to put me in a space where they're like, you're a boy. Like, you're not a girl. Cause I don't feel like I was like overly like toxic masculine, like, yo, and I've met studs like that where they are just like, yeah, that's my, and I'm like, you don't really have to treat her like that. Like, you
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
have to feel, you know, like she'll make you feel like you're in charge.
Yeah. You're dominant. Yeah.
You know, you can be the female that is in charge still. Like, you don't have to like do. I was never that lesbian. You know, I was never that stud. I never did that. I was just already like this. This is how I am. This is how I move. And I was even saying to myself the other day, like, I've always been like a grown ass man to me. Like, I always just had a way of how I want to move, how I want to carry myself, how I speak to people, how I do. And I'm like, I feel like not like women don't do that, but I think men do that naturally, like where it's like you're going to present yourself a certain way so that you can go into certain rooms, you can move a certain way. Like, I've just always done that. And I think that is what they pick up on. And they help me see it in me because I wasn't paying attention at all.
Hmm. And so after you met with this person that on Instagram, like,
Mhm.
did you start tapping into it a little bit more? Like, what happened after that?
I did. So she showed me that profile. I started watching and seeing, and I was like, okay, cool. So I had to wrap my head around everything though, because now I'm being thrown into medical changes. You got to inject yourself. What it takes to get there is now it's starting to scare me because I'm like, I don't have any health issues. I've never had a surgery. You mean I got to have a surgery? That's scary. Like, and then I'm seeing the results and I'm like, oh, I don't want that. Like, that's all of this is so scary. But again, here come the obsessive thoughts. You should do that. You should do that. You should do that. And I'm like, fuck, should I do that? One day I just said it, like, all right, I think I'm gonna do this. And then I just started looking into it. I started like following different trans men. Different trans men. There was a dude, he was in the UK. He's black. He was in the UK, Jamaican. So I connected with him doing his thing. I was watching him for a while. There's a Caucasian guy who, and he literally was the only one literally doing YouTube videos on things that I wanted to know. It wasn't just, hey, I got my top surgery. Hey, I'm trans. He was going through like insurance, his mindset, his doctor visits, his expectations. I needed that because I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah.
this is scary. Like, this is a lot of stuff. And till this day, I still follow him on Facebook. What's his name? Dale? Yeah, I think his name is Dale. But I don't think he has his YouTube anymore. But his YouTube was that was like a gold mine to anybody. Even though he doesn't look like me, he definitely felt like me.
Hmm.
And I connected in that way. So I just continued to do my research. And honestly, he was like one of the ones that helped me the most. I also had a brother that was here and a cousin that's younger than me that's here in Boston. They both transitioned or decided to do it before I even knew that that's what I was going to do. They both absolutely helped me too. Like, gave me where I need to go because we have like there's a website that you can go to and there's like a meetup group. Um
Nice.
Private, you know what I mean, for safety reasons. It's private and they meet somewhere very private and specific. So I went to that a couple of times, felt out of place because the things now that I'm hearing in there, I'm like, I don't feel like this. And they didn't look like me. There was one guy that looked like me. And I was like, where are these spaces at? You know, like, but yeah, that's what I did. I just kind of went off on a little journey and
How old were you when you started this journey?
maybe 27.
27. So you said you came out at 21 as lesbian, then so 27 you did you start identifying like right then and there like I'm a trans man like the did you after doing the research and stuff like that did you feel like it's your own journey and like do it when you want like how was that for you?
That's how I felt. I felt like, so now I'm like 27, 28. I'm engaged, but I'm also having some mental breakdowns because the relationship I'm in, I'm tired, fatigued, I'm feeling some type of way, but I'm also trying to get married to this person, but I'm also thinking, okay, I'm trans. So what do we focus on? We try to focus on the marriage and what that's going to look like, but now I'm having blackouts, and not even from like drinking or anything. I'm just upset. I am upset and I'm just storming off. I'm going off. And my partner's like, what is this? I don't know what to do with this. And I'm just like, you're not helping me. You're actually making my life a lot more difficult than what it needs to be right now. And the support that I need, that I give to you, I'm not getting back. So I had one of those episodes. I ended up calling my mom and just being like, I'm trans, and that's it. And she's like, wait, what?
Damn, mom's got two phone calls.
I'm like, that's the best I can say, Mom. This is it. I'm gonna do the surgeries. I've always felt like a boy. I never really felt like a lesbian. I just throw up on her, and she's like, you know what, kid? I love you. I don't know what else you can do to like surprise me. This doesn't surprise me. Just I all I want is for you to be safe, and I'm
Yeah.
like, thank you. And so
Nice.
now it's the mom and son talk of whatever doctor you go to better do the right shit because I'm gonna show up, and I'm like, this is the support I need. And my mom has always been like that. I think with the
Good.
lesbian thing, it was just, again, someone else coming to her. I'm her kid. She has absolutely no idea. She's blindsided.
Mm-hmm.
So after I told her, I'm good because my dad wasn't really active in my life as much, and he passed away a couple of years ago, but we were closer before he passed away, and he's always been in my life just in little specks. So when I told my mom, that was enough for me because I
Right.
felt free. I felt like this is my wingman right here. So I'm good. I could just take off now. So after that, looking into doctors, I started looking into top surgery because that was the first two things I wanted to do was appear male, like chest wise. I wanted to walk around with no shirt on. And then secondly, I had a very bad, horrible experiences. I'm sure many females do with that cycle. I couldn't stand it. So the other thing was stopping the cycle. And so those were my go-tos at first. I
How did
went
you do? Did that stop by the shot or did that stop by?
Luckily
Oh,
for me, yes. I think it has a lot to do with your body type too, because I was in the military, and when I went to the military, I didn't have a cycle, and they were saying basically the more you work your body out. That's why I always tell females that, especially the ones in my life. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but when we're younger, we move around so much more. I was on a basketball team, I ran track, things like that. I didn't realize that it was a regular then. So when I went to the army, it was gone. It barely came. Like my mom was sending me like big ass things of pads, and I'm just giving them to my my buddies or whatever because they're still getting theirs and I didn't. I was so happy about that. I hated it. I hated it. So that's that. But yes, I was like grateful enough, and I kind of knew because I remembered in my army days. I'm like, I feel like this is gonna stop as soon as I take these shots. And when I took enough of them, maybe like 2 months in, no more, it only would spot if I missed certain shots. And then after that, it was like no more. Because now at this point, I have so much testosterone.
I was hoping you were gonna say it was just like some little pill that you took. I was like, I'm about to start taking this, but
Uh,
shots, nah, not for me, not for me.
Honestly, if you run more, because when I was running track, that's when it didn't. I was still in high school, and it wouldn't come regularly. And if it did, it wouldn't come and stay as long as it did. So I always recommend to females, if you can, run more for real. The more you work that muscle out there and moving your body, it most likely won't come or it'll be lighter.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. But so that's cool that you told your mom and she was cool with it because so I assume like you told her and then like you ended that relationship like your marriage and all like I didn't know you were like engaged so
Yeah, we were engaged, and I did end up ending it for other reasons, but I find like in my life, I think there's certain things that happen to push me to do things for myself because I have always been very much so empathetic, a provider. I care, to the point where I was pushing myself to a whole nother side without realizing it. And
hmm
I think that my partners were voicing their opinions because that's just what needed to happen for me to see me. And so when I did come out as trans, it wasn't that she wasn't supportive, but she said some things to me that made me feel like, okay, I'm going to take this journey alone.
okay
Because there's a lot of things where she's like, I just want you to focus on you. Like, I think you need to focus on you. When I'm trying to have conversations about how do we tell our child that we're co parenting and, raising together, that I'm about to be he. Like, he didn't really see me as a gender. First of
hmm
all, he called me the boogeyman at first because she named me that as a nickname. I don't know why I don't know why she did that, but he literally would call me boogeyman and not be afraid of it. And then eventually he learned my nickname. At the time it's still Nick. But yeah, I don't know. I was more so concerned because I was a parental figure to him, and he didn't see me as that. Like, well, I don't know if he saw me as that because it wasn't like I don't know, it wasn't a nickname. It was just Nick, but he kind of knew I was his parent. So I
hmm
was kind of trying to, in my mind, like, how do I navigate this? And was talking to her about it. And when her response was just like, I think you should just focus on yourself, I'm like, yeah, this isn't going to last. Because in a family, I feel like if we're about to get married and my
right
child is going to see me transition, he would have seen it actively. Like, he's gonna see and know that I'm in surgery. He sees me every day. We live together. He's gonna be looking for me. I drop him off
exactly
at school. I pick him up. Like, we spend time together. So it's not just yeah, just focus on yourself. No, we should have a plan. Like, in case he's ask questions. So
definitely, definitely. That was very valid. I think it's. I was wondering if like that's what transpired. Like it does change the whole relationship,
yeah,
for sure, and the dynamic of things. And how do you? Are you single now?
I am single now.
You
I
are
am
single.
single now. I was in a relationship not too long ago, and we split apart for various reasons. But I have three babies there that I got connected to. I still speak to her though. It's all respect and love still, as of right now, and I expect it to be that way moving forward because we share a 15, 14, and 6-year old. And my 6-year old is literally like attached to me. So, and I'm attached to him. Don't get it twisted, And all of my kids are very well, much so, in tune with the fact that I am their poppy because that's what they call me. They know who their dad is or dads are, whatever, and they respect it. We had a very loving, what is that? Like a blended family. That's what we would call it.
Good.
But we just, we didn't work out for right now. I don't know. In the future, we could come back.
Yeah, so we were just like talking about like how that conversation didn't happen with your old relationship. Had that conversation happened with your kids now and your partner?
So the conversation didn't really need to happen because the funny thing about my most recent partner is I knew her for several years prior to dating her. We took our friendship to another level. So I knew her before she had the kids. She's seen me and watched me kind of transition online. We've always been friends virtually. Um, and we've always had each other's numbers, but we've dated other people and kind of respected that. So when I was transitioning actively, I actually was dating a different female. And
Them
just like,
damn platonic relationships, man. They can,
boy,
they can.
I know I'm saying it like oh he just be hopping around. No, these relationships are at least 4 years. Just so y'all know, every single one of them they range from 4 to 5 to 6 years. So there's that. So my first girlfriend, I was about 21, 22. We dated till I was about 25, I think. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, because well, my boyfriend, I dated him. That was short. I'm talking about my girlfriends.
Yeah, yeah.
That was short. That was like 3 years because I got out of the military, came home. I graduated from high school, went to the military for training, came home from training, met him, basically. Dated him for a little bit, dated my first girlfriend for like, I think that was 4 years. Dated the second girl, that was another 4 to 5. My third girlfriend is where I actually started to transition because my second girlfriend is the one that we were engaged and shared a child. So now I'm free. Now I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna live my life. And this third girl, she sees me and she's trying to know who I am. So I meet her. She actually goes through most of the beginning of my surgeries and transition with me. Very supportive, very loving. We just didn't work out for other reasons, life reasons.
Hmm.
That wasn't really, I wouldn't put it towards my transition, but it could be to an extent because there's things that happened or did not happen in a relationship that made me question. But she was supportive in the sense of being there, like at my surgeries, making sure everything is good and communicating with my mom, updating her. Like she's very, very loving in that sense and just there. My most recent is the one where we had the 3 kids and stuff. So now I am already Mateo. I look like this. I'm very well versed in who I am. It's more so just being in a relationship, really. No conversation to have with the kids because they just see me as Nick, he, him. No one is misgendering me. They respect me.
Good.
It was good. It was good. And there was no reason for me to out myself and be like, hey, I mean, I showed them pictures of when I did meet them. But as far as them being like, wait a minute, you were a girl. I mean, they know, but they don't speak on it. They're not bothered. They still, and when I get introduced to their friends, they're like, this is my trans stepfather. Like, they're,
Yeah.
oh, that's my stepfather. And that's Nick, or his name is Nick or Mateo, like, and that's that. So.
Yes. Yeah. So that brings up a good point. Like when you navigate, you're not out here saying like I'm a trans man. Like it doesn't have to be a trans man for you.
Yeah, I honestly will out myself though, if it's necessary. Like there's certain spaces like at work, we have like a pride um employee resource group and they are clearly, the resource groups are there to make sure everyone feels inclusive and things like that. I outed myself because I need you to know like I'm not just an ally. Because people will look at me and be like, "Well, that's just a man. Like he just wants to help." No, I'm not just an ally. I'm actually a trans man. I lived as a woman before, and I'm a man now. And so I want to be a part of this because I know that there's other people that exist like me, you
Yeah.
know?
So like people think that you're just a man. So when you connect to like male relationships, do you have like a lot of male relationships? Um,
I personally don't because I don't really, I'm going to say this like in the nicest way possible. I don't adapt to cisgendered men. I just, and so I'm glad you asked that. That's another reason why I've started to out myself because I am not your traditional man.
mhm.
I am my own man. I am the makeup of the men that I've seen in my family that and the things that I admire about them. No one's perfect, you know what I mean? But I am the likeness of the men that I grew up around, especially my father.
Yeah.
So for me, I have an admiration for men, I have a respect for cisgendered men, but me personally, I only connect with men that I can feel their energy. Like if I feel your energy is toxic beyond, like if you're just one of those guys that you hang out in the neighborhood all day, you ignorant when it come to women, you speak to people, say I don't. Mm-mm. So
Okay.
for me, very much so, like I'm very selective, and I will say I adapt more to females than I do men. Not only because I was born female, but because I like that nurturing energy. I don't like the toxic masculinity.
So when you get into these relationships
Mhm.
and you have these platonic friendships that we've already heard that turn into something else, I'm asking because platonic relationships in the queer community, like it is, it's a topic that I don't think it's talked about enough. And so I'm navigating that within myself. We're having like a segment on Queen Talk, everything about it.
Mhm.
Um, but you brought it up because you dated someone that was, I'm sure you told your partner, they're just your friend. There's nothing there. Like it is, it was, but it turned into something. So when
Yeah.
you navigate life now, you naturally grasp towards females. How do you how do you do that without building connections with them that are, because you said you do it because it's a nurturing too. So it's like that's why you got these females nurturing emotional relationships, but you're in a relationship.
The
So
problem, so all right, here's the thing with me. I met so many people from different people. So, okay, that is my problem right now. I won't lie to you. Like I only it's a bunch of females that already know me that kind of want a turn or like let's see where this can go. And I'm like, I need to start meeting women that I don't know and trying to figure that out. I haven't been able to do it yet. I was just talking to my cousin about this. That's what's crazy about it. Cause I'm like, yo, I'm trying to venture out. Like, I'm not afraid to at all. Like, I'm not one of those trans men that's like, oh, who's gonna date me? I really don't like when I see that because I feel like you're putting yourself in a space where it's like, who's gonna want to date you if you're questioning that? You know what I mean? I personally just I'm confident enough to feel like I'm gonna bring me, and you're gonna assume, but you're only gonna assume what's in my pants. Everything else doesn't matter, honestly, because it aligns. For me, I'm naturally just like this. I don't have bottom surgery yet. I don't really tell everybody that, but I don't. And so for me, it's like eventually I do want to have that, but that's not what makes me me. I'm just this person. This is who I am. When it comes to the pleasure aspect and things like that, I feel like that's a different level and that's something that can be discussed and talked about. But if you just love me and like me for me, it's going to work out, you know? And so I really just am trying to figure out how to get around new women and have those conversations too, because I see them happening online where some women are very intrigued or I want to try one. And I'm like, don't say that.
it's like a fetish to them,
I
yeah.
won't. Yeah, don't
Yeah.
say that. Say you're intrigued. Because now I also feel like for the people that are actually intrigued and actually do like trans men, they're trying to cover it up for themselves because now that's weird for them. You
Hmm.
know, like to like a traditional man, and then I'm talking about cisgendered women too that do not identify as LGBTQ anything. They are attracted to us and they can't figure out why. And for me, I'm like, because we're not that we're the mix or the best or whatever. It is just simply we embody those
Yeah.
energies.
You
You
can
know,
say
like
literally the best of both worlds.
and sometimes people do say that and women get misconstrued. I'm like, hold on. That's about words to an extent.
Yeah.
Because you could go into that and then a female will think they could come gossip with you or you my homegirl, you my best friend. No, no. I'm still very much so masculine and a man. I
They be
want to
gossiping.
I want to hear you, but I don't want to gossip with you, you
Mhm.
know? And I don't want you to feel like every little thing, baby, da, 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 oh, guess what she did? Oh, guess what? We don't want to hear, I don't. We don't always want to hear that. I want to hear my partner if she's frustrated, yes. But y'all got to remove us from, well, you used to be a girl, so I could just gossip with you. I could just do this. I could just, no, you can't.
Yeah. Yeah, but it'll be interesting. It's interesting too, coming from like a trans man perspective of platonic relationships, because just like I'm always like the bro relationships. Until more recently, it's kind of like changed. Into where like I'm tapping in like to more of my feminine side.
I feel like I can have them. I think my okay, so I can say that I've always been the person, the child, the kid. I love affection from women. I really do. Like I love it. My grandmother, my mother, it's not always sexual. It's just affection from a woman. I have always loved and craved that. I think I'm learning that now, honestly, as I get older, because now that I'm not in the relationship I was in, I hit my cousins up and I'm like, I need y'all's energy. Like I just need to be around women that love me. That's really it right now. You know what I mean? Like that's why I feel like I'm good with the platonic relationship because I have friends that I don't see them like that. But
Hmm.
I love them so much and they are attractive. But I don't know. I explain that. I just want their attention sometimes. And that's it. I'm good with that. And then it's like the women that I want to date is that and a little bit more, you know, like I want to cuddle with her. I want to do like life with her.
Yeah, yeah, I see that. I see that. You said that your job is pretty. They're cool with you being a part of the communities. Would you say that's safe to say?
Yeah, I love my job. I work at a bank and for it to be such a sophisticated place, but for them to have these things in place for people that feel different or out of place, I love it. The fact that they had like a pride ERG was crazy to me because that's what they call it. And I'm like, you guys are just loud, like you don't even care. Um, and I love it
Right.
because
Yeah.
literally the first corporate space that I worked in that has this. And it's like, yeah, we do stuff. We meet every other week.
That's awesome.
There's certain groups that they work with. And I volunteer for certain things. There's a couple of things coming up that I'm volunteering for. Like, I love it, honestly. I was just like, this is where I need to be for a little while. Cause like to come to work and feel included and like you can be who you are on the outside, basically.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's crazy to me. I've never experienced that.
Yeah. It makes you a little bit happy to show up to work. Like, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
mind doing it. I don't mind it.
Yeah, that's really good though. It's especially with everything going on right now, having those spaces and still those organizations that are, like you said, loud and gonna still show up and show that representation. And I'm sad to hear like though that like the representation in Boston still not like a lot of queer people of color, um, which is wild. Like, I'm actually going to the DC Black Pride for the
As you should.
first time ever. Like,
I've never been.
I've never
I've
been
never been
either.
either, but I love DC because the hospitality is amazing. And there's so many black people and so many queer people. Like it's amazing. I love it.
Well,
I'm happy for you.
I'm glad you've got to experience. I don't even know what to expect. Like this
Yeah.
Midwest girl about to go.
So I went for the Million Man March. I think they call it something else now. Um but I went 2 summers ago, I think at this point, maybe even three. It was myself with some other trans men, and the other thing I do have to shout out is Blue Foundation here in Boston. They have created. I think this is year 6. They have been the ones to bring us out as the urbanites. So
Good.
we are growing. We're here. It's just we don't have spaces to be. So I will say with Blue, shout out to them. Um, they host a urban pride every year. Our urban pride is actually during the 4th of July weekend. So I can send you the information if you want to come and check it out.
4th of July. Fourth of
Mhm.
July. I'll be in. I literally have a trip right after that. Like, yeah, that following week, I'm going to
Yeah.
Florida to see my
Mhm.
sister.
Yeah, I'm gonna still send it so you
Yeah.
can have it.
Okay. Yeah. It's
But it's big and it's growing, and I'm happy to take a part in it because again, I've been out since I was like early 20s, and I've worked with certain promoters to throw nights for our group, so it's it's coming along. I will say that, but I have to give them that praise because they have been creating the space year round outside of Pride for us.
I'm about to look at like literally. I want to look at it.
Oh, and that's the point of me bringing them up is because we ended up linking up with the
It's called Blue.
yeah. So if you go to LES and then it's bi for bi and then gay urbanfoundation.org.
I created this platform because I was like, I need to find more queer people of color.
Yes.
That's dope that, like you said, like Blue's creating that space like for you in your
Yeah.
town. There's not a space here in town that like creates like that specific space
Yeah.
for queer people of color. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I had to start this podcast and get to know people. And like you said, the TikTok is literally like you said, social media is like really how I'm like able to find representation and get that visibility out there and stuff. So
Yeah.
um, I'm glad we connected for sure.
Yeah. Me too. No, me too. When you reach out, I was like, yeah, I'll definitely do it because that's what I think this is important, honestly, for us. Like we need it. Um, and we're all spread about. You just don't know until you start talking to people like, how's this set up where you are? And I learned so much from other people on social media. I'm just like, really? Y'all don't have anything out there for you. Or you have all these things out there for you.
Right, yeah. And I feel like with queer people of color, you have to be very intentional on, like you said, searching for it. Because, like, we're out here, but it's just like, I feel like we do just stay to ourselves.
Yes.
And yeah, we got to change that. We got to change that for sure. And I
Yeah.
see like you are changing that because like you guys, I connected with you because you guys are doing like those panels and stuff like on social media. That's what got you doing that. Like what started that for you guys?
Honestly, my brother Jason, he set it up and he kind of dismantled it a little bit for various reasons, but I am going to start my own project and I know that he's continuing with his, but he just this reason, representation. We all, especially black trans men, we all feel like the ones that I know that are doing things that they're doing anyway feel like the representation is necessary, especially me. Like I told you, the first person that I followed, they're Caucasian,
Hmm.
and he can speak but so much to what I would experience because there's so many intersections to who we are being black first.
Hmm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like outside of being queer and then identifying with this and having these pronouns and then living here and this is your income and we got so much stuff like so for us it's like we're like, yo, and me personally, no shade to the other black men, but we know that they put a stigma on us. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like for us as trans men, we might be able to help shift that stigma, being the type because you're creating the man you want to be, the image of what that looks like. You can make certain choices, whereas certain cisgendered men probably didn't realize that they had choices. The
Hmm.
world is pushing them to think otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like trans men, yeah, they're trying to push us to think, oh, you got to do this, be that, or you can't be trans or whatever. But if you really look at history itself, like all of that is just wordplay and shit to make you do things that you really don't want to do versus what you actually want to do.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm looking at it like, yo, if I could shift what it looks like to be a black man, I'm going to do that as much as I can. When I'm out in public, I'm going to be kind. I'm going to be polite. I'm not going to take no shit, but I'm also going to do it in a very certain, like I just feel like we have the willpower to shift that narrative and to also just educate other people to be like, yo, this is how we be a stronger race. This is how we be stronger in general. Um,
I love
because
that.
I don't like how our black men are looked at. Like my father is a black man, my grandfather, like like I don't like that. My
And
cousin,
right, and now you navigate the world like as a black man. So when you transition, did you feel that different shift in like um society wise, like towards you? What were
yep,
those changes?
I'm not gonna lie. Yes, I feel like I get treated better as a man, even though I'm a black man. It's like weird levels to it. It's like women are at the very bottom, and then if you're a black woman, you might as well just be beneath that. That's how it felt. And I said that to somebody. I was like, I feel like shit because this doesn't feel good to know that because now I'm presenting as a male, people, hey, sir, and da-da-da, just, it's just a different energy.
Hmm.
Like, even though I'm a black man, now that I feel like only matters in very specific spaces. I can't really think of one right now off the top of my head, but just being a man and walking into somewhere, you get way more respect than being a woman. People don't even they don't most people don't even greet women or treat them with kindness or empathy or any of that. As a man, I just get it. Just like that. And
Yeah,
it's like this doesn't feel good. Like cuz I already know what it feels
yeah.
like
Wait,
to
this
be
is new.
yeah, this is new, but it doesn't feel good.
Yeah,
Like it should, but it doesn't cuz I know what's lacking on the back end.
yeah.
Like so that's another reason that pushes me to be like, nah, this ain't cool because I personally look at black women as God on earth. And I get that from just watching my mother, my grandmothers. Like, that's how they provided everything I have. They provided me with all the things that I have. My mindset, everything. My mother pushed me out. I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
There's no way I can look at them as less than. They do so much.
Right.
But
Yeah.
society doesn't uplift or highlight that. And
That,
that goes into history though. So
yeah. That's for sure. That just that's an interesting perspective too. Got to see like both sides of like navigating that world and what that looks like. And now it's nothing but up from here. Now you're living your truth. Able to live freely and be yourself. Boston, as far as like everything going on, it seems y'all good over there. Like as far as like the queer laws.
the best part about living in Massachusetts, the state itself. Like, although, like I told you earlier on, like, yeah, we may or may not be a part of that count, but the blessing is falling under the laws.
Yeah,
Well, you don't gotta count me, but I still
yeah.
I still get this blessing, which is good, like I'm not bothered with the whole testosterone and I can't go get my tea and I can't see my doctor. And if I see my doctor, they're gonna get fired. Like that's truly a blessing. So it's expensive to live here, all of that. I'm not gonna complain about it because I
Oh,
feel
it is, huh? I didn't know that. I didn't know
yeah,
that.
it is expensive to live in Boston. Not as expensive as like New York, but we're getting there to those prices.
Mm. I'm gonna come see you sometime. I'm gonna check out those because I definitely need to. I want to like connect with everybody that's been like on here that's not from here. We've done remote. Like I definitely got to tap into the city and connect in person.
Yeah, like,
Got to make it happen. Mateo, I just like want to thank you again for being like sharing your story.
of course.
It's been a good one. I just want. What would you like to leave the audience with today, though?
Can I leave you with? I mean, honestly, I would say never stop. Life is a journey, right? So how you look at it is how you will live it, and never stop learning, never stop teaching yourself, and don't ever stop living your life because of a relationship, because that's what I did several times. If your partner ain't with it, you got to move on without them. As hard as it may be, you will get through it. Trust me. I've done it about 4, 5, 6 times now. You will move. You will get on. And some of us love hard,
Yeah,
and I'm one of those hard lovers. And so you just got to learn how to elevate self before you start elevating everybody else. That's what I will say.
yeah. I appreciate that, and you have been on a journey, that's for sure. And I think you bring a good point too, of just like in that journey, you've had to leave relationships and just like focus on yourself. But people can get complacent and just like put themselves on a back burner and try to please everybody else and living miserably. And and they'll do that till the day that they die or until they get old, and it's not a good feeling. So that's a great point. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. I know I enjoyed you, Mateo. Like I'm over here just it's been a good one for sure. All the stuff, the stories that you have. Mom's getting the 2 phone calls is wild though. Like how you like, and then just like you got outed too. I think that also just like brought up a good point too. Just like how you can be in like a relationship, and like I said earlier, you're trying to be open and honest, and what that did, it backfired. So
Right.
yeah, just thank you again for sharing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Like this has been a good one. Make sure you guys tap in those comments and let us know what you think of this episode. Yeah, as always, family, friends, strangers, love, be nice.